Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in Canada. My name is Roberto Wakerl Cruz, and today we're going to change pace a little bit. You know, the political world, it doesn't stop, ever. You know, the news cycle nowadays, it's so fast that, someone will do something crazy, and then the next day you just kind of forget about it. Like, no one's talking about the weed scandal anymore. And it's just been like a week since the latest big news about it. So I'm going to move on from the news as well for a little bit, because today I wanted to talk about something that was just the funniest thing that I've seen in a long time. And it has to do with our friend or our enemy, Ron MacLean. Now, for those of you viewing who are familiar with the long-running series, I guess you call it, Hockey Night in Canada, it was once hosted by a couple guys named Don Cherry, Grapes, and his co-host, Ron MacLean. And they hosted this show, I think, for probably over 30 years. These guys graced the airways. And everyone knows Don Cherry. He was a Canadian icon. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure we'll pull up the screen here. He was once voted like the fourth greatest man in Canada by one of those polls, the Greatest Countrymen polls that were really big in the early 2000s. So just to give you a frame of reference, I'm sure you all know who Don Cherry is. But we also all know he got canned. I think it was 2 years ago. It was Remembrance Day. You remember? It was Don Cherry after he had his "You People" moment. Looking back, I just watched it recently. It wasn't really that bad. I remember it being a little bit worse than it was, but I don't remember thinking I wanted him fired. But he got fired from it. He basically went on this whole rant saying, these Canadians, they come here, these people, they come here and they don't have enough respect for our veterans. He doesn't see the poppy around the GTA as much. He doesn't recognize the country that he grew up in as much, because he's seen a lot of people not abide by the customs that we have abided by for so long. I don't know. Fair enough. I didn't think it should get him fired. But anyway, he got fired. And that was the end of Coach's Corner, right? You can't have Coach's Corner without the coach, and he was the coach. So, gone. But what was really shocking, or maybe not, about that whole scandal was the way that Ron MacLean conducted himself. You know, Ron MacLean had been this guy's buddy, I think, for 30 years. He was at least the butt of his jokes. For 30 years, he sat there listening to Don Cherry make good points about the game. He was a hockey coach. He knows what he's talking about. And then, he would make fun of Ron for being weak and not having a backbone, just kind of being kind of a meek, milquetoast, kind of losery kind of guy. And Ron didn't come to his defense at all. I don't even think he really released a statement when Don Cherry got fired. If he did, we'll pull it up. But everyone felt like that was the moment, that A2 brute kind of thing. It was like Caesar. It was like Caesar had just been stabbed, and Ron MacLean just sat there and watched and did nothing. And everyone went, oh, what? This guy does suck. It's not just like a front. He's not playing it up. He's not being a character. This guy actually has no backbone. I don't like that. No one likes that, especially not hockey fans. I like to think hockey fans have a backbone. But anyway, this is the crux of the story here. This is where it gets real juicy. Everyone was waiting for Ron MacLean to get canceled for something. I think that's how I felt about it. This cancel culture thing, it comes for everybody. You can't just be a bystander. You can't sit right next to a guy that's getting canceled and be like, oh, well, that's it. I guess that's it. I'm never going to get canceled. Ron MacLean, as maybe you know or you may not know, is a Liberal Party supporter. He attended some event with Liberal MP Adam Van Coverden. He introduced an event. I think it was a Willie O'Ree diversity event. He introduced the Prime Minister and swooned over him and his father about how much good work they do. Ron MacLean, he's a good man, right? That's what he thinks. I would never get canceled. But if you watched the Leafs and Habs game recently, and you have cable and you pay for cable, you watched Ron MacLean make one of the weirdest jokes. Not even really a joke. I mean, like, let's just roll the clip first, and let's break down what he's really saying here. It's so odd.
You have a photo of a guy with his tarp off. You're definitely positive for something. Kelly, last thing before...
Okay, you get what I mean, right? Okay, so let's break down the joke. The joke is, if you have a photo of a guy with his tarp off, so like shirtless, then you're positive for something. This is such a dated joke. that it's weird that it even came to mind. I guess he's an older guy. He probably lived through that. So I guess the joke is, if you have a photo of a man on your phone shirtless, you are gay, and therefore you have AIDS. Really weird place for your mind to go. And my favorite thing about this clip is look at his co-host's face when he makes that statement. It's like, ooh, I don't know about that one. It's a wince. It's a definite, oh man, that's not gonna go over well with the fans, and it did not. Immediately, and I think it's Pride Month right now. I don't even know anymore, man. There's like 3 Pride months. It's like summer. It's like spring, winter, summer, fall, Pride, and construction. Anyway, but no, it takes so much time anyway. Everyone was upset on Twitter to the point where people were calling for his firing, and Ron MacLean, just went off, just silent for a bit. It took him, I think, a day or two. And then he realized, I got to apologize for this. This is, I've made a huge mistake. And he did. Initially, there was a report that he had told someone he apologized. Some guy from, I think the organization's called Sports Are For Everyone, which is an inclusivity group designed to let gay people play sports. I don't know. I thought they were allowed to let gay people play, be welcomed into sports, I suppose. He told CBC Sports, I believe he was like, yeah, don't worry. Ron told me he feels really bad about the whole thing. And that was the report. So he still hadn't made a public apology. Then, shortly after, just hours after, about 4:45 the next day, or the same day, he comes out with this big apology statement, and let's go through it. Let's put it up on the screen. First and foremost, I regret and apologize for what happened last night. Early in the show, we had a fun moment featuring a photograph of our colleague Anthony Stewart enjoying a rum party. That photo, along with a few others, sat on the shelf of Kevin Bieksa's set for the remainder of the night. In the second intermission, when Kevin quipped that he was, quote, the most positive person on our panel, I directed viewers to that photo using tarp off, i.e. shirtless, to specify the picture with the rum bottle, and quipped, "You'll be testing positive for something. I meant the rum." So, just to be clear, I didn't mean, I can see why you got that mixed up. No, I meant he was going to test positive for rum. Ron, buddy, you don't test positive for rum. I mean, I'm sure you could. You can blow like a 0.04 on a blood alcohol test. That would be, I guess, testing positive for rum. But it still doesn't make sense because you're saying, I guess he's saying alcohol makes you gay. And if you're being gay with your buddies, then you're going to test positive for rum. Because if you're not gay, then the only circumstances where you'd be gay is if you're on rum. Already really strange. So he's trying to clarify, but he does apologize. Let's continue. I understand that when others are within an earshot of a two-way conversation, the potential for a misunderstanding exists. This is on, live television. If you only heard the last line in isolation, I completely understand how that misunderstanding occurred. I am deeply sorry. The idea of language of intention of personal responsibility, I have seen those concepts used as broad exoneration. It's not enough. We have a contract with you, the viewer, that in us you see yourself. I've reached out to several guiding lights in the equally my allies in the LGBTQ2S plus community and to my coworkers to receive their wisdom and continue to join the effort to tend the hearts of all of us. I appreciate the power of the voices who spoke to me last night and this morning. It provided me a sense of possibility. It's how change works. So let's see how this plays out now. Because as we all remember, Don Cherry had he had a slip up. I mean, he's had a few over the years. He wasn't afraid to speak his mind. That's why I liked him. He would go on there and say, the broads, they're always on their phones. And that's, if you're at a game, you got to look at the ice or they'll get hit by a puck. Okay. It's not politically correct, but it's kind of funny. Fired. He got fired because he had one moment where he said, you people. I don't know if he used the word you people. It might be, he had a Ross Perot moment there. Got it mixed up.
You people love you that come here, whatever it is. You love our way of life. You love our milk and honey. At least you could pay a couple of bucks for poppies or something like that.
But He got fired. I feel like he probably got paid more. The network, he was 86 years old. I bet the network, CBC or Rogers or whoever, was looking at just getting rid of him anyway. They're trying to find a way. Ron MacLean, he is kind of like a pushover. He's very meek. He's never made me laugh. I felt like it wasn't his job to make you laugh. He was the straight man to Don's like craziness, and it worked. I mean, it was on forever. But I don't know. Do you think he's gonna get fired? I personally think he's not gonna. I think he's gonna get away from this somewhat scot-free. I mean, relatively. I was hoping, and this might not be politically correct also, but I was hoping Don Cherry would come out with his own statement and just kind of be like, oh, guys, don't worry. Ron's one of the biggest fairies I've ever met. He didn't mean anything by it. You know, he's a good guy, this guy. That would have been good. I would have really liked that. Anyway, let's see what happens to Ron MacLean. I'm sure he's going to get off scot-free. That's my prediction. Let's hope Don Cherry. I've heard Don Cherry's podcast is doing very well, by the way. So let's go. Go Leafs, go. You can give me a dislike if you dislike that. Go Les Tricolores and Red Wings. Let's hope for a good draft pick. Let's get it all sorted out. Anyways, guys. That's really it for this week. I kind of wanted to take a break from politics. If you would like, you could go to the postmillennial.com. Go to the links below. Check out our T-shirts. Check out our donation links. You can buy a mug. You can buy a shirt that still says Nico's name on it as a nice memory of days of old. You can go to our premium content. We have links there too. And just give us a like. Give us a subscription. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Next week, we'll probably have a co-host, and we'll go back to, regular political news. But I just wanted to talk about the Ron MacLean thing. Is that so wrong of me? Anyway, thank you very much. Bye-bye.